First date follow-up. Powered by the Advocates Injury Attorneys. Online at advocateslaw.com.
Meg is on the phone today for a first date follow-up, and she's getting ghosted by a guy named James. So in a few minutes, we're going to call him and see if he'll tell us why he's ghosting her and maybe get her another date. But first, Meg, how long has it been since you heard from James?
Here's the deal. We live in the same building. So I actually saw him. Yeah, I know. So I see him in the elevator all the time. So I actually saw him like this morning. And it's a little bit awkward just because of all of this. So, but I haven't heard, like, he hasn't kind of followed up by a text or phone, which is what I was kind of waiting for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So did you reach out to him other than seeing him in the elevator?
No, well, so at the end of our date, which went really well, by the way. So that's, so I was sort of expecting a call. And then this morning when I saw him, I just kind of was like, I have to say something because I haven't heard from him. So I just said like, hey, do you want to go for dinner sometime? And he basically said, I'll get back to you, which I feel like is a bad sign.
Yeah, probably not the best.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But it was so great. Like we went to this trivia night that he had been telling me about because, I had seen him in the elevator. We'd make small chat all the time. I actually have a tiny confession that I would kind of plan to be in the elevator when he was there.
Okay.
But
Been there.
I was like, I was like, oh, if I keep running into this guy. So I kept like running into him and we were chatting and he had told me with this trivia night. And then finally he asked me out, which I was really psyched about. And we just like had this great night. We even went back to his place afterwards and we had a great nightcap. And, I don't want to be not PG-13, but we had a pretty great kiss at the end of it. So anyway, that's why I was totally expecting to hear from him. So I don't know.
Well, did something happen? Did anything actually go down on the date that may have made it a little bit awkward or that you felt like was a turning point?
Well, obviously I have been analyzing this for days because it's all I can think about.
Sure.
So the only thing, I started to go, okay, maybe it was this because like, my sister, she's going through a bit of a bad kind of breakup right now. She's a single mom, so she's having a hard time. She did call me a couple of times. Oh, it might have been like 3 or 4 times when we were on the date. And I did answer because I just knew, and at the time I wasn't thinking, I was like, oh, I've got to answer. It's my sister, she needs me. But I'm kind of wondering, did that kill the vibe? And does he think I'm rude, for answering the phone so much? And then I'm like, if he did that to me, would I be a little pissed? So I'm wondering if that's it.
Did he say anything about it or did he seem annoyed by that?
Okay, full disclosure, one of them may have come when we were kind of making out a little bit. So I guess he seemed a little annoyed when that got cut off, but he didn't say anything. It was just I kind of feel like, I guess, that was kind of the end of the night sort of thing. So, but he didn't say anything about it. Like he just was like, okay, good night.
Did he know who you were talking to? Like, did he know that was your sister that was calling?
I mean, I told him it was, but now I'm thinking like, did he believe me? Does he think that, I was, screwing away to talk to some other guy? Like, does he think I'm in a relationship or something? Like, now I'm not sure because that's what I told him, but I don't know. Would I be suspicious? Probably, to be honest. So.
What was the last thing you texted him?
The last thing I texted him was, had a great time, thanks for the night. Cause of course he paid for dinner and, everything. So I said, thank you. Like, hope to see you again. And then that was after I left. And then I didn't hear anything back from that. And then saw him in the elevator this morning. So that's where we're at.
That's awkward. That's an awkward elevator ride. All right. We'll see if we can figure it out for you. Then we'll play a song, come back, and then call him and see if he'll tell us why he's ghosting you and maybe get you another date. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay. We'll play a song, come back, get your first date follow-up next. If you're just joining us for today's first date follow-up, Meg is on the phone and she's getting ghosted by a guy named James. So we're about to call him and see if he'll tell us why he's ghosting her and maybe get her another date. But before we do that, Meg, why don't you catch everybody up on your situation?
Yes. Okay. So I went out with this amazing guy, James, who lives in my building. I see him all the time in the elevator. He finally asked me out. We had a great time. There was even some makeouts, but it's been like, oh my God, it's been weeks now. He has not responded to my last text. And I've recently seen him in the elevator and basically said, hey, do you want to go for dinner sometime? And he basically said, I'll get back to you, which doesn't feel positive.
Yeah.
All right. And the reason you think you might be getting ghosted is because you kept answering your phone, right?
I did. My sister kept calling during the date, and she's having a tough time, so I did keep answering my phone. So, yeah, to be honest. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, are you ready for us to call him and see if he'll tell us why?
Oh, God. Yeah, I think I'm ready. I'm nervous, but I'm ready.
Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, may I speak to James, please?
Yeah, this is James.
James, how you doing, man? My name is Jubal. I'm calling from a radio show. It's called The Jubal Show.
Hi, James. The show's here too. I'm Nina.
Hi, and I'm Victoria.
How are you?
Hey, I'm good. What's up?
Not much. Have you heard the show before, ever?
Is this something to do with like first dates or something?
Yes, actually it does.
So you listen.
We do a segment on the show. It's called the First Date Follow-Up. It's where if you go out on a date with somebody and you end up ghosting them, they can email us to get you on the phone and ask why. So we got an email about you from somebody. That's why we're calling.
Oh my God, I actually have heard your stuff before. Oh my God.
Thank
You
you.
got an email about me? Oh my God.
Yes, we got an email about you.
Okay.
Are you ghosting somebody?
Yeah, you have any idea who?
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, who do you think it is?
Is it Meg?
Yes, it is Meg. She also told us she saw you this morning in the elevator. That's awkward.
Oh man. Yeah. Yep. We did. Ran into each other in the elevator. We live in the same building, so it's kind of hard not to sometimes.
Can you tell us why you're ghosting her? She said she really liked you a lot and she's confused.
Yeah. All right. Here's the story. So, I mean, yeah, honestly, we did have a great date. I had a good time. And, you know, she's super nice, beautiful. I think we did have some chemistry, but the real deal breaker for me, and this might sound like a small thing, but it's big to me. She let it slip that she doesn't like dogs. And that is a huge deal breaker for me.
Do you have a dog?
No, I don't have a dog right now. We're not allowed to have dogs in our building, but I'm planning on buying a house someday, and I definitely am getting a dog. When I buy a house, I grew up with dogs. I love dogs. It's just something I can't live without having in my life.
Oh, I wonder what she would say though if you were like, I need to have dogs.
But what did she say? Like, she said like she absolutely hated dogs. She just didn't like them. She's allergic to them.
Well, she was complaining about one of her friend's dogs and just kind of complaining about the smell and the mess that it makes all the time, and just kind of like was like, you know, complaining about this one dog, but then like let it get to the point of like, and that's because of that, I don't like dogs at all. And that for me was like, you're going to judge all dogs based off this one dog? That is not for me. That's just not for me, man.
So that's it. Just that she doesn't like dogs.
That is honestly, yeah, it's a huge deal breaker for me. Like sure, you could tolerate dogs, but I gotta have a dog, and I can't foresee myself having a future with somebody who just can't live with a dog in their life.
I mean, everybody's got their thing. I've never met anybody that doesn't like dogs.
Yeah, I haven't either. But also, I do just want to say, like, devil's advocate, like, it could be maybe her friend just really is bad, not great at taking care of her dog. Is that, like, bad to say?
I could see that, but you know, then you got to feel some pity for that dog and not just complain about it. You talk to your friend, right? It was just a total deal breaker for me. The way though you had to hear it. I don't know. It's tough to say the things that she was saying because it was a gut punch to me.
Well, maybe we should just ask her because she is on the phone listening and wants to talk to you.
Oh.
Yeah. Hi, James.
Hey. Yeah. Hey. I forgot about this part.
James, I can't believe this. Like, my God, and if I had like 100 guesses, I would never guess this is why you're ghosting me.
Listen, it's just like, this is why I didn't want to bring it up. It feels like a little thing to a lot of people, but it's a big thing to me. It's a big part of my life. And, you know, I really did feel like we had some chemistry and, you know, but just, it's a hard no for me. It's a real deal breaker.
But, oh my God, we did. Listen, I agree. I think we had like amazing chemistry, including on that night, like the build up to our first date, all that stuff. And I guess I'm just like, okay, what if it was like, I'm okay. I could learn to be okay around dogs. Like, I just wouldn't like pet them. If I was around a dog, I could be okay with dogs. Not that I think they're evil. I just don't like them. They're like, I do think they're messy and there's always dog hair everywhere and like whatever. But I mean, does that change anything?
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is a no for me. Absolutely not. Like, you can't even get through a sentence without saying something negative.
I mean, I guess, but like, it could be worse. I just feel like there's so many worse things. Like, it's not like I'm like a murderer or like a stalker, and like, those are real reasons to not be with somebody. I just feel like,
I don't know, someone who doesn't like dogs could be a murderer for all I
know. Okay, so I just feel like this is such. I mean, is that a thing, like, where you like don't trust people who don't like? People say that, and I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, you don't trust people who don't like dogs, like, or you don't
I
think
absolutely don't trust people who don't like dogs. That is a hard line. Absolutely don't. I was thinking it might have been fun for a one-night stand, which is why I let it get as far as it did. But I'm kind of done at this point. It's a hard no for me.
Wow. Okay. And now knowing that you were just like hanging on for one night stand starts to make it feel like a no for me too. So that was a little much to hear. So and now if this is great, we live in, like, what am I supposed to do when I see you in the elevator? Are we going to ignore all of this? And
well, I don't know. You know what time I ride the elevator every day. Maybe you can avoid getting in the elevator with me.
James, would you like to go on another date with Meg? We'll pay for it.
No, thank you.
Okay. I mean, I thought, we could get together and talk it out in person and not just like this.
No, thanks. I do not want to be murdered.
All right. Well,
this took a turn.
I guess you got your answer, Meg. And James, thank you for telling us.
Yeah. Thanks.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I really do like the show.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Jubal's first date follow-up.